Hi guys, Toy Junkie here. Got another James Bond car that I want to show you today. This is a Mercedes-Benz 250 SE. This was by Corgi, it was in the Corgi collection. And this is the car that drove along the rails, the train track rails in Octopussy. I have reviewed this car before, and these die-cast models. So it'd be interesting to see how this compares to this one in both quality and specific bits of detail, because I remember, I'm looking at it now, but there was dents and all sorts on this, so it was really well detailed. So we'll open this bad boy up, have a look. I've had this for quite some time, but I've actually never opened it. Oh, what's that? Oh, look at that. It's actually got wheels or tyres. Because the car doesn't have wheels on here, it's just got rims. Obviously, if you wanted to play with it, you just take these wheels out. Take these wheels out and have a little look. So yeah, you can take these wheels out, these rubber wheels, stick them on the actual car and play with it just as you probably would. What we got in here, this is obviously the collection that you can get from Corgi. Put these back in. Sure, we'll stick there. So let's have a little look. First thing that's really obvious, there is no damage on it. No damage whatsoever. Now I'm not going to unpack it because I want to keep it the way it is. I want to keep it original. But the actual car itself is really nice. I remember when I was a child I had this model. It was a brown one, and it had a brown caravan attached to it, so it had a tow bar with a caravan on the back. I still love that car. It was one of my favourite cars ever. I think that was what really got me into Mercedes, because I love Mercedes-Benz. It's one of my favourite manufacturers ever. And I think this car was probably, or this model car was probably what turned me on to Mercedes-Benz. There you go, he's going through the track and he's going through a tunnel there. If I remember rightly, does the bonnet open? I'm pretty certain that my bonnet actually opened, but it appears that this one doesn't. And also the boot opened as well. And it's got a chance that this boot opens just because it's got, I don't know, it's got like a sticky thing around it, so I'm assuming that they've done that just to keep the boot or the trunk closed. And the doors open, yes, we know those are open. Love the way the interiors, it's all correct as regards to the way the model is. It's got the light interior. Black steering wheel. This one's got a black dashboard, so there's a bit of inaccuracy there. Probably did have a black dashboard, to be fair. Showing some of the detailing isn't as good as I would expect. For instance, the badge at the front just looks like a little plastic mess, really. Not very good. and obviously it's got no door mirrors, whereas the other one does have door mirrors. You can see the dents here, look. This has no dents. That one's got a sunroof. This one doesn't have a sunroof. It's got all the right decal on the back. Actually, I think these are different models. They have different lights on the back. Now I think that's because these models are actually from different years. I think this is a slightly older spec 240. The bumpers are different. Yeah, that is definitely the correct model for the year, and this one is a later model. So this is actually, in my opinion, I think this is inaccurate, as in it's the wrong model for the film, but they've just made it look like the model. It has a different grille, front grille on there compared to that one. Also has the different lights. Those lights were like almost like a one-piece light on the later ones, and these were, although they were one piece, they were divided into two bits, and you can quite clearly see that the rear lamps on this one, the lamps are really small, really thin, and the boot, the trunk came down lower, whereas this was the later spec model, and it had larger lights, because as cars have evolved, lights have got bigger. So yeah, there's quite a lot of differences there. That's a bit of a shame, really. We've got different wheels. Come on, Corgi. You would have expected that if they were going to do a replica of the actual the film, that they would do it correctly. I think they put a little bit more detail into it. I mean, for instance, you get all this to say it's the Bond collection, but they're not really. They're just using an old model, just any old model. Somebody hasn't really thought about it, so I'm a little bit disappointed by that, to be fair. But other than that, I mean, just to look at it, it looks really good. And this is the first time that I've noticed these differences, because I've had the model for probably 3 or 4 months. I bought it off eBay some time ago, and I've never opened it. I've just kept it for a rainy day, really. And it's not until now that I've decided to look at it. Another thing, because this is the older model, this one, if you look at the front wipers on this model, the wipers swished out, so they gave that sort of effect. But on the later 240, if I remember rightly, they were like conventional wipers that both swept in the same direction. So I think I'm going to have a look at the film again just to see which one is the correct one, but I've got a feeling that this one here is actually right. Anyway, That's a disappointed toy junkie. I thought this was going to be fantastic, but obviously it's not. It is good, but it's just not what I was quite expecting. If it was just a normal die-cast model, fine, but when it's meant to be a replica of something, it needs to be right. It needs to be correct. It needs to be the right model for a start. But anyway, we'll see you next time, Toy Junkie. See ya. Bye.